Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's kids class. My name is Irene and today we're going to be doing tape resist painting. It's pretty fun. So it's really easy and there's just a few things that you'll need. So if you have masking tape or some kind of painter's tape, that works best. It helps to keep the tape out. That's why it's called, or paint out, that's why it's called tape resist painting. So you'll need some of that. You'll also either want, you'll probably need a canvas because the tape might stick to your paper, but if you have some kind of like glossier, maybe cardstock, it might work, but a canvas is your best bet, and you can get these at a craft store. You probably want some scissors just in case, cutting your tape and maybe slicing it in half. You'll need some paint because we're painting today, right? So I have rainbow colors here, but you can pick whatever colors you want. And I'm using one paintbrush for each color of paint just so I don't mix my colors here. And since they are a little thicker than your typical like watercolors or something, it's harder to rinse it out in between uses. So I've got 6 different paintbrushes for 6 colors of paint. At the end, it's going to look a little something like this, and I haven't finished it yet because I want to show you guys how you can peel that tape off when it's all dry. So to begin, I'm going to tilt my screen here so you all can see my workspace. All right, so first things first, we're going to start with our tape. So the sample picture looked pretty cool, so I think I'm going to try that design like the one we had on the calendar here. So that one just had a couple lines and then going out, kind of like a little sun. And I'm deciding, I think I'll do the whole tape thickness just to make it easier. So for this part, it's pretty simple. You're just putting tape down, and you can do it in whatever design you want. I did letters on this one, and they're going to be a little boxier unless you cut your tape, which I did for the O to make the edges a little smoother. As you can see there, I kind of like trimmed the corners off. But the easiest thing is just going to be to do straight lines if you're using tape, but if you want to try be a little fancy, that's cool too, and you can definitely do that. So I just put one line of tape down there. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to make some rays for my sun. I'm going to put it a little bit farther out. So the scissors are handy just to make your lines straighter, but you don't need the scissors because this tape rips pretty well. All right, from here, I'm just going to go out from this second line. So let's see, I'm going to make sure my tape goes all the way to the edge. And if it goes over, that's fine too. You can just snip that off at the end or fold it over the back. And when you peel it off, it'll actually be a little bit easier because you won't have to get under the lip of the paint like I did. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more here. I think I'll do 4. That'll look nice. And this overlapping tape here is fine because that's all going to be white back on the canvas when we pull the tape off later, so that's no problem. This last piece here. All right, so once you've got your tape down, it's time to paint. So for mine, I've decided I'm going to do it rainbow colors horizontally across it. So I'm going to start with red. And so for this, it's pretty simple. If you, I'm probably going to do it like one thickness of a brush because I've got 6 colors. 1, 2, 3. It's not completely accurate, but I think that'll be good. Because it's art, so it doesn't have to be perfect, right? So once that happens, you're just painting. pretty relaxing. And so I'm using foam brushes for these. It looks like slightly smoother than a paintbrush, just because it doesn't have all the bristles. But you can do whatever you prefer. And a little reminder, if you're working on a nice table, you might want some paper towel or parchment paper or something, newspaper maybe, underneath your painting so you don't get paint all over the table. Just reminded myself there. All right, I'm going to do a little bit more red here. And if you want it to be darker when you're done with the first layer, you can always do a second layer later. I ended up doing 2 layers on my first painting, but you can do it however you like. All right, color number 1 is finished. Okay, I'm going to do orange. And they can like overlap slightly if you want, and maybe they'll like blend into each other a little bit. You don't have to cover all of the paint because that's just going to be peeled off anyway. But you just want to make sure that your whole canvas, all of the white space is covered. Even that little space in between the tape, like on the other one, like right here on the edges. And ideally the tape should keep it from going in the cracks too much because it's painter's tape, so it's supposed to help seal it and give you those nice straight edges, like if you're painting in your house or something. But I know from experience it's not always perfect, so you might have a little bit of overlap on the end, but that's okay. All right, I think that's enough orange. Yellow it is. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Nice. This is a great relaxing craft for any time of day. And if your parents are opposed to paint in the house, maybe try it in the backyard because it's been so nice the past few days. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice today too, so. I got a lot of green space from my paint, or from my tape, so that's not really going to be super yellow, but I just want to make sure I've got my whole width of my strip here. What do you think? I think it's good. Okay, on to green. And I know the rainbow has indigo too, but I don't have an indigo color, so I'm just doing red, orange, yellow, green, purple. So I'm missing the I in Roy G. Biv. That's okay. Oop, I think my yellow's got to go a little bit lower over here. There we go. And if you want to make your designs different and a little bit fancier, you don't have to do just straight lines of color across. Or you can also do the same color all the way over your canvas and make your design with the tape and make it a little more intricate with the tape. You can use your scissors to cut different shapes in the tape. I think that could look pretty cool. You could even like cut out a little shape in your tape, like if we decided we wanted to maybe put a heart on our design. We'll just cut out a little heart shape here. Hold on, I'm gonna try the fold technique. So I have the same size. Do it this way so it doesn't stick together. Just fold it and then cut on the sticky side so it doesn't stick together, and then leave the fold there, like if you're making a symmetrical shape like this heart. And then you've got a heart shape. So I'm just going to tape that down here so I'll have a little heart in my painting. So you can do things like that if you want to make like circles or squares or triangles, whatever kind of shapes you want to add into your painting. Make it a little fancier. Add the intricacies in your tape work rather than your painting work. All our options. Blue next. I kind of like the bright contrast of these colors. I know the sample one had a little bit more of a blend between the colors, but this looks pretty cool. Let's start over here. Almost done here. One last color. Remember to get those corners there where your tape overlaps a little bit. It's easy to miss those, or like here. That's kind of why I like the foam brushes, because it's easier to kind of fill in those gaps with a little pressing action. If you want to get a different pattern too, you can even just do that as your painting technique. Give it a little bit of texture. That would be kind of cool. I did my whole thing kind of smooth though, so I'm going to go over that. Alright, so I finished my painting. Now if I wanted to do another layer, I would let this dry probably maybe an hour or so, just to make it nice and dry, and then I would do another layer. I'm just going to do one layer, and maybe I'll post a picture of what the final of this one looks like once the class is posted. Oops, paint on my table. Washable paint is a good strategy. So then once it's all dry, you're going to start peeling the tape, and hopefully it'll have nice clean edges like this, and you'll have a cool design. So I had to just scrape the corner a little bit, and then you're really just going to peel it off, and you start to reveal your awesome design that you made. There's some parts where it's not going to be as great, like that corner kind of pulled up, so there's some paint there. but slower is better. I've learned just to make sure that it doesn't pull too much paint off. And then careful where it's overlapped. And once you're done, you have an awesome design. Super cool. I'm gonna hang this one in my room. I like it a lot. All right, friends. Thanks for joining me today for our kids class. We will have another fun one next week for you all. Join us again for that. And we have a Saturday STEAM class this weekend. Lots of fun stuff going on at the library virtually. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.